Hello YouTube, it's the Atari 2600 fan here again doing an updated room tour video and a response to Cobradvs' tag video. And I'm going to be doing this for a few reasons. Number one, because I updated my room a little. And also because it's a tag video. And also because I got some new stuff and I reorganized some stuff. So I'm going to show you the stuff. But anyway, first thing you'll see when you walk in is this shelf, and on the top of the shelf we have a casing to a light sixer, but there was a heavy sixer circuit board in it, and I'll show you that in a second. But anyway, in the shelves we have some GameCom games. Then we have the 32X games. There's not really too many 32X games out there. It's probably because it wasn't really that big of a successful system. It was nowhere near as big as the Genesis was. And there were only 70 games for it, maybe a little less. I'm not too sure, but I know that there were way more for the Genesis and the other old school systems. But anyway, yes, 32X games. Here are the 7800 games beside it. And just like with the 32X, not too many of them because this was a failed system, just like a lot of other systems that came out right towards the end of the video game crash. But if you're like a new retro gamer, you have to look out because they look exactly like 2600 games. They're the same size. They look almost exactly the same. They have the same plastic casing on it. The only real difference is that that Atari 2600 has dust covers, and 7800 has no dust covers. So, if you're buying 7800 games and you're brand new to this system, look out for that. Alright. But anyway, yes, 7800. Anyway, to the bottom of that, we had the Intellivision games. Yes, Intellivision games. Some games look a lot like the ColecoVision games, kind of like Donkey Kong, because they have the same picture on it. See? Because the Donkey Kong for the ColecoVision had the exact same picture on this, except it just said for use with ColecoVision and not Intellivision. So, a lot of systems do that. I don't know why. Like, when Mattel started making games for the 2600, they looked almost identical to the Intellivision games, except that they had 2600s had little handles on the top of them. So I don't really know why they can't make them at least look a little bit different. But it's their company, they're third-party companies, they can do what they want. I really don't care. Anyway, here's some Rubik's cubes. We just got a regular 3x3 and a fake 2x2 and a mini 2x2. Alright, I can never solve any of these, and they're all mixed. See, there's the 3x3 mixed, the fake 2x2 mixed, and the Ishin. Yes, that's what it is, Ishin 2x2 mixed, and I can never solve them. Oh well. Anyway, here are the PS1 games. Yes, PS1, very good system actually. I have a lot more games for this than here. You'll see them in a second. Anyway, yes, PS1. And then under that we have, what does it look like? Wii games. Anyway, next to that we have a video game DVD documentary. Now this documentary, I have to say, I didn't really like it because instead of being about the history of video games, it was more about how video games are made. And it's from the popular TV show on history called Modern Marvels. And instead of talking about the history of games, it just talks about how they're programmed. Now, there's only a little bit of history of games in it, but like I said, a lot of it just programming. You know how many times they mentioned the video game crash in this? Guess how many times? 0 times. I have no idea why, but if you're making a documentary on video games, it has to be about the, about video games, the history of them. I mean, come on, seriously. This should be something like how it works, how it's made or something. So, But anyway, down here are the 5200 games. I have a lot more than these, but all the rest of them are doubles. So I took out the doubles and I put some space here for more 5200 games if I get any more. As you can see, some of them are unlabeled, some of them aren't. This one right here, like Robotron, Missile Command, and Vanguard, and like games like those, they already came unlabeled. I didn't do that. And games like Buck Rogers and Cubert, they came with unlabeled when they were brand new. But Atari games, they didn't do that. I don't know why. It's just very weird. A lot of companies did that. Sega, Nintendo, Atari, they all did it. But anyway, here we have a pretty big, not big, but a pretty good collection of PS2 games. 2 shelves full of them. And right here we have some more PS1 games and some games in some booklets right here. I mean, like some paper casings because they didn't have cases when they got them. Alright, but anyway, that covers this shelf. It's a very good shelf, and it has quite a few games on it. But anyway, here we have the entertainment center of everything. This is where I'd keep all the, this is where I keep, like, all my systems. And, well, not all my systems, but, like, the ones that I usually play that have RCA on, are, like, the NES, the Dreamcast, PS2, and Xbox is down there. That's actually PS2 Slim right there. But anyway, yeah. And also the Atari Flashback 2 is right here. Don't know if I mentioned that was there, but it's there. There's a regular 2x2 from Rubik's, but it has words all over it. Doesn't really matter, but still pretty cool. And this is a sensor bar. Now, what's a sensor bar, you may ask? Well, a sensor bar is basically just a bar for wireless video games that are motion sensitive. So if you buy something like a Wii or a motion sensitive plug and play, they're usually going to have one of these. But anyway, right here we have a Sega plug and play. It's shaped like Sonic the Hedgehog's head, and it has a picture of Sonic right there. And what's cool about this, you can actually download Sega Genesis games onto like a memory card or like a SD card. Plug it in here, and you actually play it on your TV like it's a like it was actually built into the system. And it's really cool, actually. And it has controllers like the Wii. It's wireless, so, and it's motion sensitive for like sports games, but it doesn't have a sensor bar. I think that's because it's actually built into the system right there. I don't know why they all can't do that, but who cares. Right here we have the sensor bar for the Super Scope. And here's the Super Scope right there. Can't really see it, but right here is a paintball gun, plug and play, obviously. And that's the kind of stuff that you're not really going to ever see in the videos again. Because like this, it's kind of small, you won't see it. And this right here, it's kind of small, and again, it's tucked in back here, so you're probably not going to be able to see it too good. Alright, but anyway, right here is a little Mario mushroom from the Mario games. Pretty cool, and there's the TV remote. And up here is a switch here, so if I want to play, let's say I wanted to play Xbox, I go to Xbox. The Xbox is all plugged into right here. And then you turn on the power, and the power would come on over here. As you can see, the TV and all these systems can now be played. And they're all plugged into here besides the NES, because the NES has one of these box things and you don't want to like blow the box out. So I unplugged this one, and I unplugged this one, and when I want to play Nintendo, I plugged it in. So, you know, pretty cool. Alright, so that's done with that shelf. Up on this shelf, on the top, we have a Sega Genesis plug and play box for that one right there. Then we have the fairly rare Star Raiders box. Now, it's very rare to find one because that's complete, because it will cost you around $50 to get it complete in the box. Everything in the box, including the video touchpad with it. I got mine like that, and it's pretty cool. I got mine at a yard sale for a pretty good price, but mine came with a Atari system that's boxed. Anyway, and you can actually find that video in one of my old finds videos, and I mean my old ones. And my videos started to kind of like go popular, like become more popular when a television dude did the shout out to me, and that's when I got more popular. But anyway, down here, I got the Mario toys. They kind of take up room up here because I know I could put some more Game Boy Advance games right here. And as you can see, though, there are the Game Boy Advanced games, and they're pretty cool because some Game Boy Advance games are actually Nintendo games, NES games that were ported to the Game Boy Advance, and you can actually know if you find one if it says Classic NES series on it. So that's pretty cool. So if you don't have a Nintendo and you want to get some of the more popular games like Zelda and Mario, you can find them on there, but those games are going to be worth a little more money because they're more popular. Anyway, here are Game Boy Color games. Whoopee. And I'm going to have to put this on. Alright, there. I had to put the rope on my... The camera has a rope with it. And I had to put the rope around my wrist because I was starting to slip off my camera was starting to slip. Whatever, you don't need to care about that. But anyway, here's the Dreamcast games. Not many of them, but a good amount of them. I had some of the popular ones, like Sonic Adventure and Seaman. Seaman, I know, is a pretty expensive one because like it's an interactive game where you can actually talk to the fish in it, and he will reply to you. Usually he would reply to you, but sometimes he wouldn't because, you know, it's a video game and you're trying to talk. Right here, so one of these things, I have the internet browsers for the Dreamcast. Oh wait, well, where's the internet browser? Where's that thing? Is this it? Nope. Oh, that's the internet. Oh, here it is. Here's the internet browser. What did it? Oh, whatever. Oh, here's the web browser. Sega Dreamcast internet browser. I doubt this still works, though. I mean, like, because we all have internet on our Wii's and PS3s and 360s, I don't think we need one of these now. Anyway, Game Boy original games. Some of them have these cases which are extremely hard to open. Anyway, down here are Genesis games, and here's some ones I forgot to do in my last find video. I got Jurassic Park, and Sonic Spinball is up there. It's in pretty bad condition, but you know. Anyway, we got some Sega CD games on the shelf under the Genesis games. These ones are in like little paper casings. Anyway, then we had the Saturn games, Sega Saturn. Most of them are just fighting and sports games because those are pretty much the most popular. Oh well. Then we have some more right here, and then we have some Sega CD games. So yeah, Sega CD was again not really a popular system, but it was still a pretty good system to me. Yeah, like Sonic CD were pretty good. So, you know, it was a pretty good system to pick up. But they are worth a lot of money though. Anyway, right here we got the Sega Master games. Not a lot of them. I have a good amount of them, I'd say, but still, it's pretty cool to have some Sega Master System games laying around. I don't play my SMS too much, mainly because I'm more of an Atari guy, and I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto lately. Yes, probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. This is off topic, but I'm just gonna say my favorite game. Now, it used to be, San Andreas, but then I changed to, number 4, I think because of, Liberty City, because I like the New York City, layout better than the Los Angeles setting in San Andreas. But then it changed from number 4 to the Ballad of Gay Tony. Excuse me. I think the only reason why I did it to Ballad of Gay Tony is because it had a parachute in it. GTA 4, if it had a parachute, it would have won. And also, Ballad of Gay Tony had a tank. But anyway, I know I'm going a lot off topic with that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out. But anyway, Sega Master System games. And down here we have the start of the Super Nintendo games, like Mario Kart and stuff like that. And then we have some manuals under that. Then we had the Super Nintendo games themselves. Then under that we got the Nintendo shelf. Who doesn't want a Nintendo shelf? I would. I have 5 shelves of Nintendo. And what's on the top shelf, you may ask? Well, what system has been missing so far? A lot of them, but what has been missing? Woohoo, Atari 2600. Woohoo. Alright, I'm running out of time here, so before I leave, for part 2, I'm going to show you this over here, which I forgot to show. I almost forgot to show this, but anyway, in here, we got Xbox games in the shelf right here. This is stuff you're never going to see again. I guarantee you're never going to see this shelf again in here unless I do an updated finds video. Pickups, room tour video. Anyway, GameCube games are right here, and a Game Genie and the Game Genie booklet. So anyway, see you in the next find video. In part 2, whatever. Bye.